Yeah, that's too much. I like SiriusXM, but it's too many options. It's like the Cheesecake Factory menu.
I'm never.
Okay.
Go for it.
We're going to talk about this for just a second.
Okay.
You have SiriusXM on your radio.
I do. Both cars, yeah.
How do you manage the choices?
There's too many.
It's just like if a new car, I will have, you have it for 3 months.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like, I don't even know where to stop. Like it's like sometimes when you hop onto like a streaming television service,
Yeah.
like you don't know what to look for because there's so many options. Like, what am I in the mood for at that given moment? Do I want to listen to a sports broadcast? Do I listen to the news? Do I want to listen to Latin funk? Like,
there's hundreds of options. I mean, really, we need to come up with a way where you can now set your presets. So, like, the number one preset can just be Enthusiastic Life Podcast.
Well, that of course, of course. Can we do that on cars? Can we set like a podcast preference?
We should be able to now, but I don't know.
Hey, listen, we're in Motor City. Maybe we need to talk to the big three about
we just came up with something. Yeah.
Instead of AM, FM, or satellite, you can just do podcasts and you can pick the ones that you like.
And I think a former guest, Sandy, will really appreciate this, but like my number one preset is 97.1 The Ticket. My number two preset is XM Yacht Rock Radio.
Solid.
And it's always the worst day when I click it and then it's like, this channel has been discontinued and it gives you the date when it comes back on air next year.
Oh, they stop it.
It's not year round.
Is it only like summer when people are on the boat?
It's like
I want Yacht Rock year round.
I know. Yeah.
Jerks.
So,
all right. Welcome to the Enthusiastic Life Podcast. We've just been having an offline conversation that may or may not be included in this episode about XM Sirius Radio and why you need to have a preset for podcasts, specifically the Enthusiastic Life, on your dial.
Number one
with a bullet. On this episode, we have my friend Sarah Zigila. Sarah is the Vice President of People Development for Orbis Holding Group, and she has also launched a speaking career. And it was just so... I'm very partial because I'm dear friends with Sarah, and I just think she's a shining light in the world. So I know I'm going to love this episode, but again, I'm partial. So
Sarah was awesome. I loved. Sometimes you just need to be reminded that not everyone's path through like life and career and work is the same. Everyone's is different, some way, shape, or form. And so she's a shining example of that. And also, I've never heard of anyone that's used Zumba as like a positive. I don't know much about Zumba at all, to be honest. But
do you even know what it is?
I knew it was like some type of dance workout class.
It's a dance workout class. It is kind of.
It's not jazzercise.
No.
Okay.
It is separate from jazzercise. I've never done a Zumba class, so I can't speak to what it is. But I mean.
So I'm gonna be checking out some Zumba. I found that out today. And then with no other context, I just wrote this down as a note, and I might be getting the year wrong, but the 1997 Orlando Showstoppers.
Oh, geez.
Needs to be on your radar for this episode.
Oh, crap. We're revealing things about myself on the podcast. And I don't think I've properly introduced myself. My name is Brendan Walsh. I'm your host. This is Ryan Dewan. Ryan is our producer extraordinaire, the man behind the camera, who is now in front of the camera. So, welcome to the episode. We hope you enjoy it. Without further ado, Sarah Zigila. Sarah Zigila.
Yes.
Welcome to the Enthusiastic Life Podcast. I'm so excited that you're here.
I am beyond excited to be here. So thank you so much for, thinking I'm cool enough to be a part of all of this. I love this. This is fantastic. Yeah.
Thinking you're cool enough?
Yeah.
Knowing that you're cool enough.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Do you mind introducing yourself to our listeners?
Not at all. So my name is Sarah Zigila. My big girl job, I guess, I'm the Vice President of People Development for Orbis Holding Group. We're an HR consulting firm. I'm a Vistage member. I am a speaker. I'm a mentor. I'm a dog mom. I'm a wife. I'm a Detroit lover. I'm a Zumba goer and a Zumba instructor. Oopsie. Maybe
I forgot that in my notes.
I love music. I love theater. I love art. I love all things that make life exciting and fun. And I think I live a pretty colorful life, and I'm just excited to be a part of this conversation with you, sir.
So, starting off with our origin story, can you share your recollections of how did we first meet?
We first met at a Vistage meeting. I was fairly new to the group, and I think it was the very first time. You weren't at the first session. And
really?
Yeah, you weren't at
I wasn't at your first?
You weren't at my first meeting.
Before we dive in,
Yeah.
can you share with the audience who may not know, what is Vistage?
Yeah, Vistage is a really great organization that supports executives and I think leaders from small to mid-sized businesses that bring people together who can collaborate and talk and discuss about challenges and issues that they're facing in their own organizations and partner with people of how to make it better or work through those challenges and to grow an extreme network of really smart, brilliant people who want to see you grow, thrive, and do really well in life. And I mean, that's been my experience from Vistage anyways. And that's how I got to meet you.
Yeah.
And so I walk through the door and I see this handsome, tall man who just, you can't help it, but you just stand out of the crowd. You really, really do. But
it's only because I'm tall.
I mean, whatever it is. But I mean, also you have this kind, very genuine nature about you that I just immediately gravitated towards. Somehow throughout my life, I've been able to pick out the people who are there for transactional stuff, are there just to, get what they need to get out of things. And you just had this really kind of warm and inviting, aura about you is the best way I know how to describe it. And then you reached out your arms and you were like, bring it in, sister. And you were like, welcome to the group. And from that moment on, I kind of just took a pause and I breathed and I was like, okay, I'm in a good place. And I know I'm around people who are here to support me. And that was our first interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely, for me, it was one of these, okay, this is a very cool, awesome person that I'm going to be friends with.
Yeah. And we have been ever since, which is great.
Because unfortunately, we're no longer in the same group anymore.
Yes.
But we still continue through lunches and getting together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supporting each other, which I love.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your background. So you've had a cool path professionally.
Diverse is what I like to say. Diverse is what I like to say. Yeah. I don't know. I started, early career. I started in the finance world. Okay. I worked for a company called A.G. Edwards, which then sold to Wachovia, then sold to Wells Fargo. And that was right around 2008 when the whole economy kind of crashed. And I learned very, very quickly that the finance world wasn't for me. And so then I ended up in senior living, of all places. And
as one does.
Like you do. I knew I was always there to help people and provide a service to people. And so I went to senior living and I was, selling apartments to individuals that needed assistance. And then I went back to college. I got my bachelor's degree from Central Michigan University in community development. And then I fell in love with nonprofit and I got introduced to a really fantastic organization called Winning Futures. It's a mentoring organization based here in Metro Detroit. I started off kind of fundraising and raising funds for their programming, and then that ultimately led to facilitating some of their programs in the classrooms and working with students and mentors, helping kids just kind of see the big picture and map out the future of their life. And then I went back to school, got my graduate degree from Oakland University, and just kind of fell in love with learning and development, tried to sell some training, and then I ended up in HR. And then that's when I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be for the rest of my life. And for the last 7 years, I've been working with small to mid-sized businesses of all shapes and sizes, helping their managers, their team leads, their supervisors, even their executive level people kind of grow and build their organizations to be resilient and authentic cultures. So that's what I do.
What was it about human resources that felt like home?
Humans. most people kind of run away from humans. I love people. I love the dynamics of people. I love learning about people and their walks of life and where they've come from and how they've arrived there. And just knowing what makes them tick and what makes them excited, what makes them passionate, and kind of helping them navigate life in whatever way I can to be supportive. So yeah, humans. I love humans. And I'm just an extroverted person who loves to build relationship and connection. And I think that's what life is all about. And so, yeah, that's the long and short of it, I guess.
Something that we share in common.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's when I look back at everything that I've done, that the through point has always been working with people.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah, providing a service to people, to be helpful to others. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. So what are some of the things that you've learned about people in your work?
I have learned that people are dynamic, but more than that, people just want to be seen, heard, and know that they matter. And I've learned that people want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, that they want to be a part of something powerful. And we're all kind of like putting our arms up and saying, how do I get there? How do I get there? And I'm here, hopefully, at least I think so, to help people figure that out. But people are wonderful, and people are just wanting to connect, and people have a lot of experience, and they have a great story, and I think it all should be told.
So on top of the work that you're doing in human resources, you have a new passion that you're following.
Yes.
And can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's more than a passion, my friend. I think it's a movement.
Okay.
That's the way that I'm choosing to frame it, because I think it's important.
And tell me the difference between the two.
A movement is building strong, powerful influence and kind of changing the game. I think passion is something that invigorates your soul and it makes you happy, but I think this is a much more broader conversation, a larger conversation that needs to be had with more than just myself. So
Okay.
I'm just kind of sprinkling the passion and creating a movement, so to speak.
So tell me about the movement.
Yeah, so it's a leadership and empowerment movement where we're changing the conversation on how we approach leadership, how we talk about leadership, and how we're actually implementing leadership in our organization. It's called Inspire with Heart, which is more than an acronym. It's more than some cute, catchy buzzword, so to speak. It's the way that I've lived and led my whole entire life, with heart. And I think leaders need to adopt some of these foundational principles or get them back in their life a little bit. Because as you climb your career and you're moving from position to position and you're working on your metrics and your KPIs and your growth and your trajectory, we sometimes forget some really small, simple foundational principles that allow us to connect and make really positive impact and change in our organizations and in our lives. And I'm here to kind of reintroduce those foundational principles through heart.
So that is a perfect lead-in to my next question of, what are those foundational principles?
Yeah. HEART stands for humanity, empathy, alignment, reflection, and trust, right? And when I say humanity, I'm talking about understanding that people are more than just positions. They have so much more depth to them, and so do you. So it's honoring yourself, and it's honoring the people that work with you, work alongside you, or beneath you, okay? And then empathy, it's that muscle, that lens that we should be constantly putting in the forthright of our conversations, understanding people with curiosity, leaning into each other to understand our differences so that we can figure out better ways to work with each other. Alignment, meaning what are our values? What's our mission? What's our purpose? And are we all on the same page here? Because if we're not, the system kind of breaks down. Reflection. What are we doing as people, as individuals, as leaders to reflect on what worked, what didn't work, how can we make it better, how can we improve, and then trust. It's a hard word, you know. How are we building trust in our organizations, and how are we building trust amongst each other? So that is what HEART stands for.
And what inspired you? Where did that idea of leading with heart, inspiring with heart, where did that come from?
Yeah. Throughout my diverse background that we were chatting through, I've had the privilege and honor of working for many, many, many different types of leaders with different ideologies and methods and principles, so to speak. And it really wasn't until my time at Orbis working with Amy Wentrack, who is my, chief HR strategist, but she's also a mentor as well. And she taught me what real leadership looks like. She taught me that when she honored me as a human, when she engaged in conversations with empathy with me, when she and I were aligned on our value system at the organization, when we reflected on our conversations and circled back to each other when things got awkward or weird, when we learned how to trust each other, this beautiful partnership formed, and we were able to make really great positive change within the clients that we were supporting. And I was like, we have to package this up. We've got to bottle up all of this goodness, and we need to share this message with the world. And here I am, sharing the message with the world.
So how are you sharing it with the world?
Currently, I'm doing as many speaking opportunities that I can. I'm certainly putting this program into all of my client programs that I'm working with. But just recently, I've become a Vistage Speaker. So
Congratulations.
I've passed the test. Thank you so much.
What is that process like?
Oh my goodness, it's pretty grueling.
Is it?
It really is. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me. So
I mean, you have to have 3 pro bono sessions of, speaking and delivering your content. And then you have to take all of the feedback, and they grade you on content, they grade you on delivery of that content, and then whether or not it's relatable in their business. Mm-hmm. And you have to do that across 3 different groups and collect all the scores and manage a score of 4.2 out of 5. And you have to keep going until you do that. And you hope that you get it done within the 3 sessions.
And did you?
I did.
Yeah? Well, okay. What was your score?
I'm not going to share that score. I am not going to share this
because
score.
Because it was all 5s? It was all 5s?
It was not all 5s.
Okay.
No, that just means I have room for improvement.
Okay. Good.
But I will share that I was definitely over the 4.2, but not all 5s.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. I mean, that's good that people, because I think having been in Vistage and rated speakers, I think a lot of people by default might give all 5. So it's good to have people that are giving you honest, constructive feedback.
That is one thing and it's been really impactful impact, really great tidbits and facts that I'm like, oh, that's a really great point. I didn't see it that way. That was really helpful. And now it's allowed me to go back, reiterate, and just kind of tweak things a little bit. So it's been very, very positive and helpful.
Nice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So,
and well received.
So Vistage is one area that you've been speaking.
Yeah. I just spoke at the Detroit Economic Young Leader Conference, so it was awesome to be able to, speak in front of a group of young professionals all under the age of 40 who are looking to grow and climb the ladder in their own careers. And I'm hoping that my message help them be inspired a little bit. So, having this great conversation with you. I'm doing some virtual sessions coming up in December. So any opportunity that I can to share my message, I'm certainly going to take the opportunity. That's for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the old adage is that public speaking is a bigger fear for most people than anything on the planet, right? Like heights, spiders, snakes.
Yeah.
Claustrophobia, right?
Yeah.
So did you face that fear? Is that something that scared you? Because a lot of people would say you can do anything you want to me other than get me on stage and talking to people.
Yeah. So I feel that way about spiders.
Totally fair.
I mean, I grew up, fun, quick story. When I was a kid, a girl down the street from me had a pet tarantula. Okay. And this is
Who would do that?
Yeah. Their family, was very open to different, insects and other things like that. So, okay. Show and Tell brings the tarantula to the bus stop, brings it on, the bus. We go to school, talks about the shedding of the skin. This is right when arachnophobia came out. I was young. So you pair that with the movie. It was a disaster. I was afraid to go to the bathroom. I was afraid to take showers. I am literally petrified of spiders to this day. In fact, in my wedding vows, it was mentioned, I will do everything I can to save you from spiders. That's how scared of spiders I am.
That's a commitment.
That is a huge commitment. But for whatever reason, when it came to public speaking, it was always this like innate, shall I say, gift. When I was in elementary school, I participated in a contest called What I Want to Be When I Grow Up. So there's this picture of me in this horrible dress that my mom picked out. But it was explaining I wanted to be a lawyer because I had a message that was really important. I was in the DARE program, and I was the first kid out of the whole program to memorize their speech at the end of it. When I went to college, I took every public speaking course I probably could, or public relations course, because I just knew inside me that there was this message that needed to come out and I needed to share it with the world. So it's not a fear for me. It is this deep-rooted passion for getting a message out to the world. Yeah.
And so you mentioned that, you're inspired by, the leadership that Amy exhibited and the collaboration that you had, but
Yeah.
what was the moment where you said, this is something that I need to share with more people outside of our clients?
That's a really great question. The moment. I don't know.
And maybe it wasn't a moment, but when you had that, what's the what's the process of saying this is an idea to, okay, I'm going to start speaking to people about this.
Yeah.
I'm going to put together a speech. I'm going to put together a presentation. This is going to be a thing that I want to share with the world.
Yeah.
Because, there is that, there's a whole book about the execution gap. It's one thing to have an idea. It's another to actually do it.
Yeah. I think it was a lot of feedback from my own clients, people around me, my friends, my community, my network saying, Sarah, you've got to take this message on the road, my friend. Like, it is time. What you have is something special, something empowering, something impactful, and you're doing really great work with your clients, and people are changing. The conversation around leadership is changing, so this needs to be taken to the masses. So I think it was listening to everybody else, finally like believing in myself and saying, why the heck not, right? Like, you get one life. Go live it and go do it beautifully as best you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to ask you about, if you're comfortable sharing it,
Yeah.
is I know you've overcome a lot of obstacles and challenges
Yeah.
over the years. Any thoughts just for people listening who might have their own challenges that they're facing that can help them face those?
Yeah, I've been through, loss. I've been through addiction. I've been through divorce. I came out in my late 20s. I've had to rebuild from a lot of adversity. And I think my message, my nudge to the world is that you are perfectly imperfect. And you are brought to this world because you are special, you are unique, and you have a gift to offer. Go find that gift. Go explore, go tackle, go work through, go process everything that you possibly can to really find that gift and share that gift with the world, because that's what makes us so special, and that's what makes the world go around. That's what makes us learn from each other. That's what allows us to connect with each other. That's what allows us to make really beautiful, impactful changes in the world. Go do it. Go do it. I am living proof that I have every reason to be like, I could be an addict of some sort. I could, struggle with a lot of different things that stop me from being the best version of myself. But I've worked through it. I've worked through the pain. I've done all the hard work, and I've faced the demons. And I can assure you, although that process was hard and challenging, I'm a much better person for it. And I know how to connect and relate with people at a much different level as well. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I know one of those things
Yeah.
that you're, those gifts of yours
Yeah.
that you mentioned
Yeah.
is Zumba.
Yeah, I love Zumba. Oh my gosh.
So, but not just participating, you're an instructor.
I am an instructor. Yeah, I am an instructor. Yeah.
Tell me about this.
So when you were asking me about that moment, right? Zumba was very critical in that journey and that process. So
Tell me more.
when I lost my mom, I struggled big time. I went through a really big, deep depression, and I was not coping well, my friend. I was eating all the bad things. I was drinking all the bad things. I was a smoker for a very, very long time in my life. And I was just unhealthy. I was just this unhealthy mess, and I knew things had to change. And when you watch your mom, leave this earth, and the one person who does give you life, it changes your perspective. And when you go through grief, you can either let it consume you or you can work through it. So I worked through it. And Zumba was kind of my, all right, get your butt in the gym and start tackling some of these demons. And so when I showed up at my first Zumba course, I was kind of like that Zumba wallflower in the back, like, okay, moving my arms and this, worried about the moves and the choreography and did I fit in? But slowly but surely, I started to earn my confidence a little bit. And one of the instructors, actually at a studio that I went to, kept, had an eye on me and was like, Sarah, you're doing really great, and encouraging me to kind of move up the studio floor. It's closer to the front, if you will. And finally...
Gasp, the front.
The front. And there's a name for it. They're called front row divas, actually. Because I'm not even joking, because the girls in the front are always, they know the moves, they can probably dance it better than you, they can cue it better than you. It's actually quite funny.
Did you become a front row diva?
I did kind of become a front row diva because I loved it so much. It helped me build my confidence. I was getting stronger. I was getting healthier. My body was changing. My endurance was changing. I fell in love. And when that music is pumping through your soul and your heart is just beating and you're sweating, it just feels so great. I'm such a dork.
No, awesome.
I mean, I am. But so the instructor was like, hey, why don't you come up on stage with me and dance this song? And at first it was like, skirt, absolutely not. There is no way that I'm getting up on that stage with you. But through a little bit of encouragement and a couple of times of harassing me, finally this is it. This is the day. And it was a Saturday in October, actually. Went up there, I danced with her, and for the first time in my life, in a very long time, I felt free. I felt alive, and I felt joy. And it was from that moment on that I was like, I've got to do this, and I've got to help others realize that they can find their own joy too. And so that's why I became a Zumba instructor.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it hard to become a Zumba instructor?
You got to go through a course, which is challenging in itself, but then you have to learn choreography. I think the hardest part is the cueing and teaching other people who are brand new how to, follow the Zumba way. That's the hardest part, but I'm learning slowly but surely how to master that, I think.
I think it's so cool that one person, right? It takes one instructor to say, you should get up here.
Yeah.
Or you should move towards the front.
Yeah.
You're doing great. That encouragement, and you never know who that person's going to be, or you don't know the impact you're going to have on someone by giving them that encouragement.
Yeah.
And then does that person know that nudge, essentially, I mean, there's a through line from there to you getting on stage and speaking as a Vistage speaker and professionally.
I don't think I've shared with her all of that, but I have shared that she did help me rebuild my life at a time that was really, really, really tricky. And ever since, I've been on this crazy mission of anything is possible. And you know what? That's actually a really great reminder of how I probably need to make that a little bit more clear for her, because she's a really wonderful human being and she does spread a lot of joy and greatness to others. And we need to encourage that. So if we find people in life that do that, we should encourage them to keep doing that. So thanks for that reminder. I'm going to do that. When I leave here, I'll make sure that I let her know on a different level. Yeah.
Another topic I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
You mentioned you have a love for theater.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, because we could go down a rabbit hole. We could mutually nerd out about this a little bit,
mean,
because I don't know if you know my background with theater.
Yes, I do. Yeah. I mean, I was a show choir geek. I was a Macomer for a hot moment. Yes, I was. And for a short period of time. But
Wait a second.
yes.
Did you work with Ellen Bowen? Was she there?
I don't think that name sounds familiar to
Okay.
me. No, yeah. But no, I was in show choir.
I too was in show choir.
Shut
Sarah
the
Zigila.
front door. Oh my God. But most people are like, show choir, what is even that? But yeah, I mean, I loved being on a stage. I loved performing. I loved dancing and singing. Music has been my life. So anything in the arts just invigorates my soul. For God's sake, I'm going to go see John Batiste on Friday. I am so excited.
Where is he performing?
He's performing at the Fox, and we've gotten the pinnacle meet and greet experience where we actually
He's
get to-
incredible.
Talk
Talk about a light.
Talk about a light. And he is breathing in a message that's very similar to the heart model for me, where let's all gather together under this great umbrella and spark a little bit of love and joy and humanity and come together and let music and song do that. And so we get to have a meet and greet experience where you take a photo with him, you get a signed piece of his own music. I'm just pumped. Like Friday, I cannot wait.
So cool.
Yeah, Friday. We've been waiting for a long time for this. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like a musical genius.
Musical savant,
Yeah.
I think is the way that I would say
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised you actually know who he is, because anytime I say John Batiste, most people are like, who is this man?
Oh,
Or-
he's
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
No, I'm a bit of a music nerd myself, so
Yeah. So music, concerts, theater, show choir. It's
I can't believe. So yes, I was in high school show choir, and we were a national champion show choir. Showstoppers, 1997, Orlando, Florida.
Stoppers. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Favorite show, favorite musical, or top 3, or
Probably
top 5.
Rent. Rent is my favorite. Yeah.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rent is my favorite.
So that came out right near when I was in high school, getting ready to graduate.
Okay.
And one of my high school graduation presents from my godmother was tickets to Rent in Chicago. And it had just moved there. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Amazing. Yeah, I was introduced to theater. Like I saw My Fair Lady very, very young. Les Mis was fantastic. In fact, one of my auditions for show choir for the Macomers was a Les Mis song on my own. So yeah, I love something takes over you when you can it teaches you how to be very, very present. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why I love it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We just Kelly got me for Father's Day the season tickets to the Broadway in Detroit.
Awesome.
So very
Yeah,
excited
very
about
excited. Cool.
about that.
Yeah.
So, well, one last question before we wrap up.
Oh my gosh, that was quick.
I-
It goes by so fast, that conversation.
What is something, and it doesn't have to be one thing,
Yeah.
that is bringing you joy right now?
I have so many things that bring me joy.
Doesn't have to be one thing.
Okay. Zumba obviously brings me joy. Walking my dog in the morning brings me joy.
What kind of dog and what's its name?
Luciano is his name. He's a handsome golden doodle who'll be 5 on October the 30th. He brings me so much joy. There's something about unconditional love from an animal. But
Luciano's a great name too.
yeah, he means giver of light. And so he was a COVID dog, if you will, but he has brought us so much love and light into our life. So we're so happy about that. Spending time with my beautiful wife and really working on this passion project / movement and working with really great collaborators who are rooting for me, who are encouraging me, who are saying, share this light and love with people, Sarah. So, really tackling my own purpose and passion is what's bringing me joy right now. This conversation brings me joy right now.
And I don't know if there's a louder, more vociferous cheerleader than your wife.
Louder for sure. Yes. No, but she is. She's my greatest support team, my biggest cheerleader. And we have a very, very strong great relationship, and I would not be who I am without her. And we support each other, we love each other, we encourage each other, and she is my greatest cheerleader. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah, thank you so much for being here and being a part of this.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun.
So much fun.
So much fun.
If people want to find you for speaking engagements,
Yes.
where can they do that?
Well, there's two ways. They can reach me through Orbis, of course, and then also sarahzigila.com is also another way. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm also on Instagram, Sarah Zigila, so find me.
And how does one spell that if they wanted to find you on the socials, as they say?
Yes, so Sarah with an H, of course, and then Zigila, Zigila.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
And then can't wait to see. Anything else in the future? Do we have books?
I just think 2026 is going to be a phenomenal year, and books, of course. That's
So we can have the return be talking about the book and the internationally renowned author and speaker, Sarah Zigila.
Exactly. And then I'm going to have my own podcast as well, and you are definitely going to be a guest on mine, sir.
I would be honored.
I'd love that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Okay.
Thank you so much to Sarah Zigila for joining us on the podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so grateful to have any and all listeners, and would really love it if you enjoyed what you listened. Just click the share button and share this with a friend. Text it to somebody. Add it to a group chat from people who are talking about good books or good podcasts and want to learn new things. And give us a like, give us a rating wherever you listen. It goes a long way for people to find out who we are and what we do. So thank you again for joining us. We're so grateful for you, and we will look forward to seeing you here next time. Have a great day.